Reactor. Roll off.
What's up, Reactorites? John here.
Mike is here.
And we're just browsing through YouTube, and we just saw a really interesting video. This one is called the Marvel Symphonic Universe, and it's got a lot of views. So I wonder what's it about. Let's check it out. Somewhere in Vancouver.
So I have a question for you. Off the top of your head, could you sing any music from Star Wars?
Everybody knows that song.
Yeah.
How about James Bond?
I was gonna do Star Wars.
Harry Potter?
Dun 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 dun.
Okay, I do that song.
My last question. Can you sing anything from a Marvel movie?
Na, 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 na.
One of the biggest Marvel
Na,
fans.
na, na, na. Yep.
How about,
I can't think of any of the songs.
That's it, Spider-Man.
I know Spider-Man's
I should know
theme.
this, but I don't.
What about X-Men?
Shit.
What is the X-Men?
That's
not. Oh, I thought you were doing
Like-
the. That's.
Why is this?
The movie did make it similar to that.
Because the
cartoon.
Marvel Cinematic Universe is
Oh,
now
we're
the
talking about the
highest
Marvel
grossing
Cinematic
franchise
one,
in
yeah.
film history. More than Star Wars, more than James Bond, more than Harry Potter. So what is missing from their music?
Did they make like a? I think like the soundtrack for Winter Soldier is great, but it's like it's not memorable. Like you can't remember it. But it's
First
still
problem is that
impactful.
most of the music doesn't evoke an emotional response. Take a look at this scene from the first Iron Man.
Day 11, test 37, configuration 2.0. For lack of a better option, dummy is still on fire safety. If you douse me again and I'm not on fire, I'm donating you to City College. All right, nice and easy.
It's kind of hard to hear it. So let's try that one more time, but this time with just the music isolated.
I feel like I'm anticipating something. You know?
Did you have an emotional reaction to that music?
Yeah, I did.
So what happens to this scene if we just take it out?
Day 11, test 37, configuration 2.0. For lack of a better option, dummy is still on fire safety. If you douse me again and I'm not on fire, I'm donating you to City College. All right, nice and easy.
The scene works just fine, and it doesn't need any other sound. And that's partially why you forget the music. It's like the air conditioner in the background. After a while, you tune it out. Another problem is
Guess
that
I'm
the
wrong.
music is used very predictably, so that what you see is what you get. If you see something funny, you hear funny music.
Well, no crap. What else would you hear? Horror music?
If you see something sad, you hear a high note on the strings. This is a really safe way to score a film, because all of the emotions are expected. The music just tells you the same thing as the picture. If someone looks scared, then you hear.
That's the same thing for horror movies.
And this is the second reason the music is forgettable. It never challenges your expectations. But sometimes, the Marvel films do have memorable music. Except the filmmakers don't let us listen to it. Instead, they cover it up with other sounds, like this.
Denied enlistment due to poor health, Stephen Rogers was chosen for a program unique in the annals of American warfare. One that would transform him into the world's first super soldier.
That narrator is just telling us things we already know, and he distracts us from the emotion of the scene. So how does this moment play without that distraction?
It's like the first movie when you see the kids running, you don't
Yeah.
hear anything. You just hear the Captain America theme.
Yeah. I feel patriotic.
Did you feel the difference?
Yeah.
Film music is incredibly subjective, and it goes through trends. And over the last 20 years, there's been a cultural shift.
Because Hans Zimmer?
Nowadays, a lot of filmmakers feel that music should not be noticed.
That's a contemporary thing that I've heard very frequently. It's not supposed to be noticed.
Right.
But why is it not supposed to be noticed? I grew up on Alfred Hitchcock's films, Bernard Herrmann, and I noticed every note.
Right.
I find it a little bit baffling why that seems to be the consciousness of music and film.
But there is one thing we haven't mentioned yet, and it's very important. Today, blockbuster movie scores are composed through a particular process, and that process starts with one controversial element.
Danny, you groaned earlier when someone mentioned temp music. The pros and cons.
For me, temp music is the bane of my existence. It's my job to make the director forget everything he's heard in the temp. I won't listen to it but once. I'll never listen to it twice. And if they're addicted to it, it's just going to make my job harder.
Let's back up a second. Temp music is when you're editing a film and you take music from another movie and use it temporarily in your cut.
Wow.
Like this.
And the final version is similar to that.
Temp music is always supposed to be replaced by a composer's original score. But sometimes, directors or producers will tell their composer to imitate the temp. To our knowledge,
Wow.
this is
know
the
about
only
that.
time a studio has publicly apologized for imitating temp music. But the far more pervasive effect is that now, most blockbusters are temped with each other's scores. So they kind of sound like each other, but just within legal limits.
Oh no!
From Revenge of the Fallen.
I like Steve Jablonsky. I don't know, like, how does he even know, like, this is the temp they used? That's why, you know, like, a lot of the trailers sound the same, like,
Yeah.
And as the Marvel franchise has become more popular, now other films sound like they were temped with Marvel music.
Oh my god. No, not Mad Max.
oh yeah, this one, I remember this.
I hope they didn't win the Oscar for Best Original Score. Chunky XL, come on.
We want to emphasize, we're not blaming the composers. Things don't get this way unless it's systemic.
This sounds like an Iron Man.
Mombasa.
Actually, no, it's
Wow. That is like not different at all. It's like a guitar riff.
Directors would often reference other music as a way to talk to the composer. But what changed everything was modern nonlinear editing, which allowed a director to put their favorite music in the movie and have the editor cut to it.
Oh, you're using mixed sounds?
Yes, so we'll just write.
Now, a director points to the temp and says, make it like that. And it's not because the music is the right choice, but because they've listened to it.
Again and again and again for hours and hours, and making a new DVD they watch at home when they go back, and then another version the next day with the same music. And at some point, the music sticks to the picture. Any good music
They can
sticks.
spend a year with it before you arrive.
Of course, so it's connected.
And when you take, by the way, when you take that music out, often the cut isn't right because they're cutting to something that it's very frustrating.
Part of the frustration is that filmmakers just reuse things that worked in every other movie.
Yeah.
So you end up with the lowest common denominator. Remember this?
Somebody beating on a
Let's try something different.
gallon drum of water.
So earlier in the film, Thor convinced his friends to do something illegal, and he was banished. Now, they're doing something illegal to find him. He's not asking for their help. They're giving it willingly. What if we heard this feeling in the music?
Oh, using the theme.
I'm more inspired.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this is the right choice here, but it's worth trying out because it makes the scene emotionally richer. And all of the choices you see in Marvel films, the background noise, hearing what you see, adding a narrator, temp music, all of these stem from the same desire, to keep things safe. This is not bad music, it's just bland and inoffensive. And because Marvel sacrifices emotional richness for these safe choices, the end result is this.
Ooh, Marvel? No. Oh, wait,
Superman?
So what is missing from Marvel music? Risk. The kind of risk that creates an emotional connection with the audience, so that they carry the music with them. People do not remember safe choices. Only bold, original music can do this.
Just create catchy tunes.
But that being said,
a lot of new movies
we
don't do
did
catchy
find
tunes
one
anymore.
Marvel theme that still got this reaction.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies.
Look out!
Here comes Spider-Man. That's Izzy Strong. Listen, bud, he's got radioactive blood. Can he swing on a web? Check a look overhead. Hey there goes the Spider-Man. In the chill,
Wow, he does the whole thing.
the scene of a crime, like a stream of light, he arrives just in time. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Welcome, friends, he's ignored. Action is his reward to him. Life is a great big hang-up. Wherever there's a bang-up, you'll find the Spider-Man.
Flip, flip, flip.
That was incredible. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Wow, it's that is something I've noticed, like in movies, like there aren't like that many catchy tunes left, but it's there's like a whole like new generation of people, I guess, like they're okay with not having catchy tunes.
I mean, it's always going to be that way with like the big movies, you know.
Yeah.
They don't care about the small stuff, they care about the big things. They want to make sure it looks good and that they got the best actors that they could possibly put out there, you know. But yeah, that's kind of sad. Like the only thing I could think of was Captain America's theme, and then Spider-Man, which is technically not part of the cinematic universe.
Yeah. Well, now it is the new one, but I doubt they're gonna have like a memorable theme for the intro. Yeah, it's kind of sad. I don't think it's that the studios are just being unoriginal. They're just not focusing on, like, the filmmakers aren't focusing on like catchy tunes. They just want to create something that just feels like the same beat as like the scene.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know, like a lot like the video games I'm playing. Like, it just feels cool. It's not memorable, but like when you hear it, it kind of fits that scene. Like for example, I know Deus Ex Human Revolution. That one had a great soundtrack, but it's not really catchy. But when you listen to it, when the scene's there, it's like I like it. It's like it's really cool.
The last soundtrack that I know we both were like really big on and like really like listened to it afterwards. It Follows.
It Follows, yeah, that one had a bold soundtrack, yeah. And
or even
that was great.
Even Stranger Things, the opening, like
yeah,
yeah.
But then it just took from like the '80s, so that's like inspired by the '80s, and it's
just different.
It's different. I wouldn't say like the Stranger Things one is like really catchy because I just know they have like certain sounds to it.
Yeah.
But I couldn't really hum Stranger Things. Can you? Like the actual tune? That sounds like Mr. Sandman. Mr. Sandman.
But I do know Danny Elfman's Spider-Man though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah, Danny Elfman. Yeah, that's why like my favorite composer has always been Danny Elfman, John Williams, just these guys that just they've created these iconic scores.
Uh-huh.
And no offense to like I like Hans Zimmer. Like it's still cool. It feels like thematic, like Batman Begins, but it's not as catchy. Like for Batman Begins, like Hans Zimmer, he uses like two notes, like and that's it. But
he's building tension.
Yeah, it's kind of cool for that, but it's not like iconic and catchy.
Yeah.
Going back to like the Marvel films, like the really catchy ones, Captain America: The First Avenger. So just like na 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 na. And other than that, the other ones aren't really as catchy. Like Iron Man.
Iron Man is just what's it called? Ozzy Osbourne, right? Or
Yeah, they use like
Black
the soundtracks.
Sabbath.
And in Guardians of the Galaxy, the thing that caught people the most for Guardians is like the music, the awesome mixtape that Peter Quill has, and it's not like the actual score. I don't even remember the score for that film.
Yeah.
Or but like my favorite, Captain America: Winter Soldier. Like a lot of the stuff isn't like catchy, but I thought that was like the best Marvel Cinematic Universe soundtrack for that one. And even like what the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's like it's recent, and even with the Batman universe, like the new stuff, the DC Extended Universe, like you can't really like what's really catchy right now.
How about the most
Man of Steel? Like, do you remember the theme for Man of Steel or Batman v Superman?
How about the new Star Wars movie? Even though that was John Williams, I don't.
But they're still using the old. That's all they have to use, that classical one. But the new theme that they have, Rey's theme, I kind of remember because I listened to the soundtrack a lot, but it's not like catchy as Duel of the Fates. Duel of the Fates. That was catchy. Rey's theme is like. But it's I listen to it a lot, so I know what it is. But if you were to hear it, it wouldn't be as catchy as the other stuff, the new stuff, well, the prequel stuff and the original stuff.
Yeah, fucking John Williams.
Yeah,
you're awesome, man.
John Williams and or like Back to the Future. Remember Back to the Future?
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones. Yeah, no, that's another John Williams one.
Yeah.
The composer for Back to the Future is Alan Silvestri.
Okay.
And he also did the music for Captain America: First Avengers. That's why it's pretty catchy. But then he also did the music for Avengers. So I think it just depends on the director.
Yeah, they were like, "Hey, you stop that."
Yeah, because like Joss Whedon did Avengers. Like, what shows or whatever do you remember that's catchy? Like he's done Firefly. Does Firefly have a catchy theme song?
Not that I know. I mean, I know Buffy did. Mm-hmm. Buffy had a pretty catchy theme song.
Yeah, that was pretty catchy.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. I guess this just depends on the current situation of composers and filmmakers where they're just trying to not make things catchy again.
I don't know.
It's kind of sad, but
yeah,
it just depends on your taste. So let us know what you think about the movie scores today. Like, do you miss the old school catchy theme songs, like, you know, like John Williams, Superman, Star Wars, and all that? Or do you like these more subtle cues, subtle hints of the music that we have now for like a lot of the movies out there? Let us know in the comments below.
Bye.
Yeah. And with that, I'm John.
I'm Mike.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Versus hero. You've seen them fight as friend versus friend. Now, the greatest threat to the Avengers is... It's gonna be themselves again, isn't it? Yep, this is what happens when your villains kinda suck. Captain America. Civil War. Loosely based on the comic book crossover